Admiral Reza Patel stood at the reinforced windows of Orbital Command Station Aegis, her dark eyes fixed on the massive vessel that had emerged from hyperspace moments ago. 20 years of military service hadn't prepared her for this moment, humanity's first contact with an alien civilization. The ship hung against the backdrop of stars like a crystalline arrow, its hull gleaming with an otherworldly iridescence. "Status report," she commanded, her voice steady despite the tension coiling in her stomach. Lieutenant Jackson's fingers flew across his holographic interface. "The vessel maintains position at the lunar orbit threshold, Admiral. Energy signatures are consistent with power-down weapon systems. Their broadcasting on all frequencies appears to be a first contact protocol." Patel nodded, though her hand remained near the neural interface on her temple, direct neural connection to Earth's integrated defense grid. The public knew nothing of humanity's true technological capabilities, achievements kept secret through decades of unified global cooperation. They'd learned long ago that the stars weren't empty, and they'd prepared accordingly. "Open a channel," she ordered. "Let's see what our visitors want." The holographic display shimmed to life, revealing a being that appeared to be made of living crystal and light. Its faceted surface shifted in hypnotic patterns as it spoke, its words translated seamlessly by Earth's AI systems. "I am Ambassador Zorix of the Nexus Collective. We come seeking peaceful dialogue with your species." The crystalline being's voice carried an almost musical quality. "Your world has caught our attention. Such rapid technological advancement in isolation is unusual." Patel maintained a neutral expression. "Welcome, Ambassador. I am Admiral Reza Patel of Earth's Unified Defense Command. We're honored by your peaceful approach." "The honor is ours, Admiral. The Collective has long sought new civilizations to bring into our fellowship. Your species shows great promise, though you have yet to achieve faster-than-light travel. Your other technological achievements are impressive." Something in Zorix's tone made Patel's combat instincts tingle. 20 years of reading human opponents had taught her to recognize condescension, even in an alien voice. "We progress at our own pace, Ambassador. Earth values its independence." Of course, Zorix's crystalline form sparkled with what might have been amusement. "However, the galaxy can be dangerous for isolated worlds. The Collective offers protection, guidance, and access to technologies beyond your current understanding." Patel's eyes narrowed slightly. "A generous offer, Ambassador. Though I'm curious, what would the Collective expect in return?" "Merely cooperation, Admiral. Integration into our unified system of governance. Some might call it a protectorate status, but I assure you it's quite beneficial. Your military assets would be overseen by Collective advisors, ensuring they meet our peaceful standards." And there it was, the truth behind the diplomatic veneer. Patel felt a cold anger settle in her chest, but kept her voice level. "An interesting proposal, Ambassador. However, such decisions require consultation with Earth's Unified Council. Perhaps you could provide detailed terms for our review?" "Of course, Admiral. Though I should mention, previous civilizations found quick acceptance of our offer to be healthier for their populations." The threat in Zorix's words was barely veiled now. Patel allowed herself a small smile. "I'll convey your message to the Council, Ambassador. Please maintain your current position while we deliberate. Any deviation will be considered a hostile act." Patel out. The transmission cut off, and Patel turned to her command staff. "Initialize Defense Protocol Aurora. Quietly. And get me a secure line to the Council chambers." She paused, looking back at the alien vessel. "They think we're primitive, afraid. Let's see how they handle the truth." In his crystalline vessel, Ambassador Zorix contemplated the exchange with growing concern. The human admiral had shown neither fear nor awe, emotions the Collective was accustomed to inspiring in pre-FTL civilizations. Instead, he'd sensed something far more dangerous: confidence. Analysis of their orbital infrastructure, he commanded his crew. The data streams flowed through his consciousness, and for the first time in centuries of first contact missions, Zorix felt something akin to worry. The humans had hidden their true capabilities well, too well. Perhaps the collective standard approach would require reconsideration. But by then, the wheels were already in motion. High above Earth, humanity's hidden defenses stirred to life, preparing for a confrontation that would reshape galactic politics forever. The coming conflict would teach the collective a harsh lesson about underestimating younger species, particularly ones who had spent decades preparing for this very moment. Human ingenuity, after all, had always thrived most when backed into a corner. And humanity had no intention of becoming anyone's protectorate. Zorix's crystalline form pulsed with barely contained rage as he addressed the collective's high council through the quantum link. The humans had been deliberating for 6 standard hours, an unacceptable delay that spoke of either primitive decision-making processes or, more worryingly, preparation. They show no signs of the expected fear or compliance, he reported. I recommend we proceed with a show of force. Nothing excessive, perhaps the destruction of a few of their primitive orbital platforms. First speaker Nixus's crystalline form shimmered with approval. Agreed. The longer we wait, the more we risk losing face. Primitive species must learn their place in the cosmic order. The celestial dawn's weapons powered up, its crystalline structure channeling energies that could shatter moons. Zorix allowed himself a moment of satisfaction. Soon, Earth would learn the price of defiance. At Orbital Command Station Aegis, Admiral Patel watched the energy readings with grim satisfaction. Right on schedule, she murmured. They never could resist flexing their muscles. She activated her neural link, connecting with Earth's unified defense network. All stations, initiate Protocol Chimera. Deep beneath the lunar surface, in caverns hidden from prying eyes, massive generators hummed to life. Similar facilities across Earth's solar system awakened, humanity's greatest secret finally revealing itself. 2 decades of reverse engineering crashed alien ships, of unified global cooperation hidden behind a facade of political division, were about to pay off. The celestial dawn's first shot was magnificent, a lance of pure energy that would have vaporized any normal orbital station. Instead, it splashed harmlessly against an invisible barrier, the energy dispersing in a spectacular display of light. Impossible. Zorix's crystalline form fractured slightly in shock. Their technology level, they couldn't possibly. Ambassador Zorix, Patel's voice carried a hint of steel as she opened communications. I believe we've reached the end of diplomatic discussions. You have entered restricted space, made threats against a sovereign world, and initiated hostile action. Under the Earth Defense Accord, you are hereby ordered to power down your weapons and withdraw. Zorix's laugh was like breaking glass. You dare. You think a few primitive shields will protect you from the collective's might? We've brought entire civilizations to heel. Final warning, Ambassador. Withdraw, or face the consequences. The celestial dawn's response was another energy blast, this one at full power. It too dissipated against Earth's shields, but this time, humanity answered back. From hidden silos on the moon's surface, quantum-tipped missiles emerged. From asteroid bases, gravitic pulse cannons powered up. From Earth's oceans, supercavitating vessels broke surface, revealing weapon systems that shouldn't have existed for centuries. Target their propulsion systems, Patel ordered. Let's show them exactly what a primitive species can do. The first salvo caught the celestial dawn completely off guard. Quantum warheads phased through their supposedly impenetrable shields, while gravitic pulses disrupted their crystalline structure. The mighty vessel shuddered, its perfect form developing cracks. This is impossible. Zorix screamed across the command channel. You're pre-FTL. You can't have this technology. A correction, Ambassador, Patel replied calmly. We chose not to reveal our FTL capabilities. Just as we chose not to reveal many things. Your assumption of our technological level was premature. As if to emphasize her point, a new vessel emerged from Earth's atmosphere, sleek, black, and radiating power that matched the collective's own. The HSS Prometheus, humanity's first official starship, though far from its only one. You see, Ambassador, Patel continued, Earth has known about the galaxy for longer than you think. Those lost, collective ships over the centuries. Not all of them stayed lost. We learned, we adapted, we prepared. Because we knew someday, someone like you would come, expecting us to bow down. The Celestial Dawn's engines flared as it attempted to retreat, but Earth's defensive grid was already closing in. Quantum fields disrupted their attempt at faster-than-light travel, while precision strikes disabled their primary systems. The collective will not stand for this. Zorix's voice had lost its musical quality, replaced by static-laden fear. We will return in force. We're counting on it, Patel replied. Humanity has been preparing for war among the stars for generations. We just needed someone to give us a reason. As the Celestial Dawn hung crippled in space, its crystalline hull spider-webbed with fractures, the truth dawned on Zorix. They hadn't discovered Earth, Earth had been waiting for them. And in their arrogance, the collective had walked right into humanity's trap. The galaxy was about to learn a harsh lesson about underestimating primitive species. And humanity was more than ready to teach it. The collective's High Council chamber erupted in chaos as the quantum feed from the Celestial Dawn cut out. First speaker Nixus's crystalline form pulsed with dark energy, a visible manifestation of their rage and disbelief. How? The word resonated through the chamber. How did a pre-contact species develop quantum shielding? Gravitic weapons? This goes beyond mere technological advancement. Deep in Earth's unified command beneath Mount Cheyenne, Admiral Patel stood before the holographic displays showing the disabled Celestial Dawn. Around her, the combined military leadership of Earth watched in grim satisfaction as Operation Oracle unfolded exactly as planned. Director Rashid, Patel addressed the head of Earth's Science Division, status of the quantum analysis. Dr. Samira Rashid stepped forward, her augmented eyes glowing softly as she processed streams of data. The collective's technology is exactly what we predicted from our salvage operations. Their crystalline computing matrices are powerful but inflexible. They haven't innovated in centuries, they've only perfected what they already knew. General Marcus Rodriguez, commander of the Sol System Defense Fleet, smiled darkly. That's what happens when you believe you're at the peak of evolution. You stop looking up. The room's attention shifted as new alerts flashed across the displays. The collective was responding exactly as the predictive AI models had suggested they would. Multiple quantum signatures appeared at the edge of the solar system, a battle fleet emerging from FTL. Right on schedule, Patel noted. Initiate Phase 2. Let's show them what humanity has been working on while they were perfecting their crystals. Throughout the solar system, humanity's hidden strength emerged. Asteroid bases transformed into battle stations. Gas giant mining operations revealed themselves as fleet anchorages. From Mars, Jupiter's moons, and Saturn's rings, ships of all sizes moved into defensive formations. The collective fleet, led by the dreadnought Crystal Throne, approached with overwhelming force, over 30 vessels, each larger than the Celestial Dawn. Their commander, High Admiral VYX, broadcast across all frequencies. Primitive species of Earth, your unprovoked attack on a diplomatic vessel cannot go unpunished. Surrender now, and we may yet show mercy. Patel's response was not in words. At her command, the orbital defense grid activated its true capabilities. Quantum entanglement fields spread between Earth and Mars, creating a strategic defense network that the collective sensors couldn't comprehend. All ships, execute Battle Plan Prometheus, she ordered. Show them why humanity never stopped preparing for war. The Earth ships moved with a coordination that shocked the collective fleet. Unlike the crystalline vessel's rigid formations, human ships flowed like water, their quantum-assisted AI pilots executing maneuvers that organic beings couldn't hope to match. Impossible. VYX's voice crackled with interference as the first wave of human attacks struck home. Their ships are, they're predicting our movements before we make them. Quantum predictive modeling, Dr. Rashid explained to the command staff, her augmented eyes tracking the battle. We've had decades to study their tactical patterns from historical records. Every move they make was anticipated years ago. The collective superior numbers meant nothing against an enemy that knew their playbook by heart. Human ships, smaller but more agile, slipped through their formation's weak points. Quantum-tipped missiles phased through their shields. Gravitic pulses disrupted their crystalline structures. But humanity's true advantage wasn't technological, it was psychological. The collective, convinced of their superiority, had never considered that a primitive species might have spent generations preparing specifically to fight them. Their right flank is faltering, General Rodriguez reported. They still can't adapt to our quantum field disruptions. They're fighting the way they've always fought. Because they've never needed to change, Patel replied. Until now. The crystal throne itself began to show signs of damage as coordinated attacks exploited weaknesses in its crystalline structure. High Admiral VYX's next transmission was tinged with something the collective had rarely experienced, fear. This is impossible. You cannot have developed all this independently. Who helped you? Who gave you these technologies? Patel's response was cold. No one helped us, Admiral. We did what humanity has always done, we observed, we learned, and we prepared. Every crashed ship you abandoned, every transmission you thought was too degraded to be received, every piece of debris you left floating in space, we studied it all. We reversed engineered what we could and improved upon what we couldn't. The battle continued to turn as more of Earth's hidden capabilities were revealed. From the Kuiper Belt, stealth platforms began targeting collective ships' quantum communication arrays, isolating them from their network. From Venus's orbit, electromagnetic pulse weapons disrupted their crystalline computing cores. In the High Council chamber, First Speaker Nixis watched in horror as the quantum feeds from their fleet went dark one by one. The humans weren't just fighting back, they were systematically dismantling the collective's most powerful battle group with terrifying efficiency. The greatest shock came when human ships began utilizing their own version of FTL technology, not copied from the collective, but developed along an entirely different principle. They could appear and disappear at will, striking from impossible angles and vanishing before the collective's weapons could lock on. We never stopped evolving, Patel broadcasted to the remaining collective ships. We never stopped pushing our boundaries. While you were busy enforcing your protection on other species, humanity was preparing for this very day. The battle wasn't just a defeat for the collective, it was a revolution in galactic warfare. Humanity had taken everything they thought they knew about combat in space and turned it on its head. And they were just getting started. As the Crystal Throne systems began to fail under the relentless human assault, the galaxy's balance of power shifted irreversibly. The age of collective dominance was over, and a new power was rising, one that had learned its first lessons about galactic politics from the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to reveal itself. The quantum communication networks across the galaxy buzzed with unprecedented activity. News of the collective's defeat spread like wildfire through civilized space, carrying with it recordings of the battle that would change everything. In hidden chambers and secret meetings across 1,000 worlds, the supposedly protected species of the galaxy watched Earth's victory with growing hope. First Speaker Nixis faced the emergency session of the collective's High Council, their crystalline form dulled with stress. The chamber, usually a model of order and hierarchy, had devolved into chaos as representatives argued over the implications of their defeat. The humans didn't just defeat our fleet, Counselor Zena's voice cut through the noise. They revealed our greatest weakness, our stagnation. They turned our own technology against us and improved upon it in ways we never imagined. In Earth's orbital command, Admiral Patel reviewed the aftermath of the battle. Holographic displays showed the captured collective vessels, their once pristine crystalline forms now scarred and fractured. But it was the incoming transmissions from across the galaxy that held her attention. "Another 3 species have reached out," Lieutenant Jackson reported. "Former collective protectorates seeking alliance with Earth. They're offering their own hidden technologies in exchange for protection." Dr. Rashid's augmented eyes flickered as she processed the data. "It seems we weren't the only ones preparing in secret. The collective subjugated worlds have been developing their own technologies, waiting for an opportunity. An opportunity we just provided," General Rodriguez added with a grim smile. "The galaxy's balance of power is shifting by the hour." A priority alert flashed across their screens: massive quantum disturbances at the edge of monitored space. The collective was mobilizing its entire fleet, thousands of ships moving to answer humanity's challenge. But Earth was ready. Hidden shipyards throughout the solar system revealed themselves, launching vessels that combined human innovation with reverse-engineered technology. Each ship represented a different approach to space combat, a testament to humanity's refusal to rely on a single strategy. "They still don't understand," Patel observed, watching the collective fleet's predictable formation. "They think numbers alone will overwhelm us. Begin broadcasting on all frequencies, it's time for Phase 3. Across the galaxy, quantum transmitters activated on hundreds of worlds. The message they carried was simple but devastating: detailed instructions on how to defeat collective technology, freely given to any civilization willing to fight for their independence. "You sought to keep us isolated," Patel's message echoed across space. "To prevent us from joining together, from sharing knowledge. That ends today. Earth offers alliance to any world willing to stand against tyranny. Our technology, our strategies, our support, all freely given. The age of protectorates is over." The response was beyond even humanity's predictions. Across collective space, subjugated worlds began to rise. Ships thought lost centuries ago emerged from hidden docks, crewed by species who had never stopped dreaming of freedom. The collective's carefully maintained order crumbled as centuries of resentment exploded into open rebellion. In their hidden chambers, the collective council watched in horror as their empire began to fracture. Their attempts to coordinate a response were hampered by quantum communication disruptions, courtesy of Earth's newly shared technology. "This is beyond military defeat," Counselor Zena declared, their crystalline form vibrating with emotion. "The humans haven't just beaten our fleet, they've undermined the very foundation of our power. They've given our protectorates hope." First Speaker Nixus knew they had gravely miscalculated. Humanity hadn't just prepared for a single battle, they had prepared to dismantle the entire system of collective dominance. Each step of their response had been calculated to inspire others, to show that resistance wasn't just possible but achievable. As reports of uprising flooded in, Admiral Patel addressed Earth's unified command. The collective built their power on isolation and fear. They never understood that their greatest weakness wasn't their technology, it was their belief that they had nothing left to learn. The holographic displays showed more ships emerging from hyperspace, but these weren't collective vessels. They were ships from former protectorate worlds, arriving to stand with Earth. Each one represented a different species, a different approach to technology, a different lesson that humanity could learn. "We offered them what the collective never did," Dr. Rashid observed. "Not protection, but partnership. Not submission, but collaboration." The galaxy was transforming, reformed by the very qualities the collective had dismissed: innovation, adaptation, and most importantly, the willingness to work together as equals. Humanity had done more than win a battle, they had sparked a revolution that would reshape galactic civilization forever. And in the darkness between the stars, more ships were gathering. The collective's perfect order was about to face its greatest challenge, not just from humanity, but from every species they had ever underestimated. The once mighty halls of the collective's High Council chamber lay silent. The crystalline architecture, which had stood for millennia as a symbol of unchanging power, now reflected the fractured state of their empire. First Speaker Nixus stood before the remaining council members, their form dimmed with the weight of inevitable change. The humans have transmitted quantum shield frequencies to every former protectorate, Councillor Zena reported, their voice carrying none of its former certainty. Our technological advantages are neutralized. In Earth Strategic Command, Admiral Patel watched the galactic map with quiet satisfaction. Hundreds of green dots represented formerly subjugated worlds now declaring independence, their combined fleets moving to protect their newly claimed freedom. The Collective's response fleet has stopped advancing, Lieutenant Jackson announced. They're holding position at the Orion Arm boundary. Dr. Rashid's augmented eyes flickered with incoming data. More interesting is what's happening on their worlds. The younger crystalline generations are questioning the old protocols. They're evolving. The quantum communications array hummed to life, displaying a familiar crystalline form, but not one they expected. A younger member of the collective, one whose crystal pattern still shifted with new formations. I am Third Speaker Lyrics, the being announced. I represent the progressive assembly within the collective. We request dialogue. Patel exchanged glances with her command staff before responding. We're listening, Third Speaker. Our society has maintained unchanged patterns for millennia, Lyrics began, their form shifting in what appeared to be discomfort. We believe this represented perfection. Your species has proven this belief flawed. We wish to learn. The request was unprecedented. The collective, which had positioned itself as the teacher of younger species for countless generations, was now asking to be taught. The galaxy is changing, Patel replied carefully. Perhaps it's time for all species to learn from each other. As equals. Over the next several weeks, ships from across the galaxy gathered in Earth's solar system. Not for war, but for an unprecedented meeting. Representatives from formerly subjugated species, progressive elements of the collective, and humanity's leaders convened to shape a new galactic order. The new Galactic Concordat, as it would be known, established principles that would have been unthinkable months earlier. Knowledge would be shared freely between species. Technological advancement would be celebrated, not controlled. Most importantly, every civilization would maintain its independence while contributing to the greater whole. Admiral Patel stood at the same window where she had first observed the celestial dawn, now watching ships of all designs and origins moving peacefully through Earth's orbit. Each vessel represented a different approach to the same challenges, a different path of evolution and innovation. They're calling it the human revolution, Dr. Rashid remarked, joining her at the window. Though, revolution implies destruction. This feels more like an awakening. An awakening long overdue, General Rodriguez added. The galaxy had grown too comfortable with hierarchy, too accepting of stagnation. A notification chimed, another transmission from Third Speaker Lyrics. The young crystalline being had become an eager student of change, leading the collective's transformation from within. The last holdouts of the old council have accepted the new reality, Lyrics reported. The age of protectorates is officially over. Though we find ourselves facing an unfamiliar challenge, the need to grow, to change, to evolve. That's the greatest challenge any species can face, Patel responded. But it's also the greatest opportunity. Humanity didn't develop in isolation, we learned from every piece of technology we found, every signal we intercepted. But we made those lessons our own, adapted them, improved them. That's the true strength of any civilization, not the ability to protect knowledge, but to share it and watch it grow into something new. The galactic map behind them continued to update as more worlds joined the Concordat. Each point of light represented not just a planet or a species, but a unique perspective, a different way of approaching the universe's challenges. Earth had done more than defeat an empire, they had shattered the very concept of species superiority. In its place, they had helped build something far more valuable, a galaxy where diversity wasn't just accepted but celebrated, where innovation wasn't controlled but encouraged, where cooperation replaced domination. As the sun rose over Earth, its light reflected off vessels of every conceivable design, crystalline ships of the reformed collective flying alongside organic vessels of the aquatic meridians, geometric constructs of the silicon-based Voltarians sharing orbit with the quantum ships of humanity. Each one a testament to the infinite ways life could solve the challenges of space. They thought we were isolated, primitive, weak, Patel mused, watching the ships dance through their orbits. They never understood that Earth's greatest strength wasn't our technology or our weapons. It was our endless drive to learn, to grow, to reach for the stars not as conquerors, but as explorers. The galaxy would never be the same. The lesson humanity had taught wasn't just about military might or technological advancement, it was about the power of diversity, the strength found in cooperation, and the endless possibilities that arise when different minds work together toward common goals. The universe, they had shown, was too vast and too wonderful for any one species to claim mastery over it. The true path to the stars lay not in domination, but in the shared journey of all sentient beings, each contributing their unique perspective to the greatest adventure of all, the exploration of the infinite.